Hey, what is up, YouTube? We made it 50k subs. Absolutely mind-blowing. And that means I get to do my 50k Q&A. Let's check out the questions. All right, I'm going to answer these questions in the order that they came in. So the first one here is from Salty Showers. Salty Showers? 50,000 people. That's a lot of connected drummer souls. Yeah, it really is. It's rather mind-blowing, and I do not take it for granted. You must be doing something right. On YouTube and other social media, everyone has opinions and people are not afraid to criticize. I know you are confident enough to filter that. My question is, how do you deal with criticism from people who know you for a long time and you respect? For example, your wife and or peers. Man, that is a great question. That is a big question to open up with. Now, just to address a little bit at the start here, I know you are confident enough to filter that. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I don't know if there's been anything in particular that has made you see that or feel that, but yeah, I mean, people I don't know using fake names online critiquing you. Yeah, I mean, you can take the bait and get into a big argument, but really it's kind of not worth it. And yeah, to get to your real question here, how do you deal with criticism from people you know and respect? Yeah, I want to try and answer this honestly and not just give a cookie cutter answer to this. I think criticism from people you know and respect, I think it does hurt, actually. I sort of think back to what I tell my students if they get criticism. Recently, we've had a band competition here, a big high school band competition, and the bands get feedback and they get told, really bluntly what they've done right, what they've done wrong. And I'll always tell my students, don't worry about it. Don't take that personally. That is just feedback for you. Some of the feedback's really good. Some of it I might not agree with. Either way, it doesn't matter. You do with it what you want and just don't take it personally. It's not like the judge hates you or thinks you're a bad musician. They're just giving you their feedback. And it is simply that. It's just one person's feedback. Look, I do think a camel is a horse by committee. Hopefully I've got that quote right. You got to be careful about who you let into your head. If you have a vision or if you have goals, that's no one else's right to take that away from you or just stomp all over them. You got to do your own thing. I really do believe that. And yeah, I've talked previously about, actually on one of the things I learned at jazz school videos, I talked about how I got feedback from a really fantastic, one of the best bass players in New Zealand, without question. And he gave me feedback that's a tempo thing that we were doing a musical theater production, and he gave me, one-on-one feedback, not in an angry way, just a really open, honest way. Hey man, you're doing this, you're doing that. Come on, let's sort it out. And I remember thinking, oh man, I was really grateful. Even at the time, I was like, wow, that takes a lot of guts for this person to come out and say that. And he obviously thinks I can handle it, and obviously thinks I can action it. Look, it is tough. It is tough to get criticism from people you know and respect, but you have to divorce yourself. You can't take it personally, and you also have to filter it and think, is that valid? And probably the only way drumming-wise to process that information correctly is to record yourself so you can see, well, hey, he or she was right, and I need to fix it. And I'm really glad that this person has opened my eyes to it. Hopefully that answers your question. Whew. All right, here we go. EM Sig. Hello, Andrew. I hope this hasn't been asked and therefore answered before. Do you remember the moment you knew you want to play drums? Was it a song you heard or seen someone play, or something completely different? Thank you for your awesome videos. Cheers, Marcus. Thank you very much, Marcus. Man, my answer to this is going to be, I think, rather surprising for you guys. It was actually a documentary. A documentary was the catalyst for me to take things far more seriously and follow through with what I wanted to do and quit my day gig and become a drummer. The documentary was actually Buena Vista Social Club. And I think what was so special about that documentary was you saw people playing music from the heart and soul, and it wasn't, a money thing. It wasn't trying to get on the pop charts thing. It wasn't a this and a that sort of that we get tangled up in the Western world. It was actually just pure, fantastic music. That was a game changer, and I found that documentary so inspiring, and I can sort of trace this back to seeing that. And I'll add in also that I had been working at a summer camp in California around the year before I went to jazz school, actually. And I met a lot of fantastic people there, and it was just a total different scene, coming from little old New Zealand, where we're all hobbits, and going over to Carmel Valley in California. It was one of those moments where I sort of, life-changing, if you want to say that, where I thought, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I'm not really cut out for that. I want to be a drummer. I'm going to go for it. Okay, the next question is from Crazy Dave C. Any of the following to you or anyone? Any issues with hearing tinnitus? No, I'm going to answer that one already. No, I don't have any issues at all with my hearing. I have been absolutely militant and the whole time taking great care of my ears. Molded earplugs, best money you will ever spend. Don't leave home without them. I could never gig without them, even a quiet gig. Always use my molded plugs. Number 2, when you have to create a part, to what extent is it composed behind the kit / on a piece of paper? To what extent do your pieces exist as written music when you play them? These days, I'm not doing a whole heap of sessions. In the past, when I have done sessions, don't use your head as a filing cabinet. Get stuff down on paper. Even if you cannot write notation, figure out some kind of scribble shorthand. Even better, record the ideas. At the time, you'll think it's the best idea in the world, and in 5 minutes, you would have forgotten about it. Have to write stuff down, always. Then you can piece things together, and you can look at it with a little bit of distance and see if things work together or if they don't. Otherwise, it just becomes a big mess. Write stuff down. He's got another question here. When you first became interested in drumming, how did the family react? Positively or negatively? I would say positive in the sense that they were supportive. I went to music school, to jazz school when this is when I first became interested in drumming. I don't think there was much reaction at all. I don't think they took it very seriously. There was no musical background in my family. My siblings didn't play instruments. My parents didn't play instruments. So no, I don't think they... he's playing the drums. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. When I decided to bite the bullet and actually go to jazz school, I think they thought I was out of my mind. They were still supportive, but I think they thought it was a mistake. And they've been the first to say that it wasn't, and everything has worked out good. So that's good as gold. On a number 4 question here, on a related note, solutions to one of the biggest challenges in drumming, finding a place to practice that isn't going to destroy your relationship with your family and immediate neighbors. Oh boy, that is a massive one. Yeah, that's why you've got people going to E-kits or low volume setups. Actually, in the description of this video, I've got my full low volume setup that I use at home. I was using it at home when I was doing online teaching during the lockdowns. I'm lucky in that I've always had a studio, like a place that I teach from, and I use that to play. Anything I do at home is just on a practice pad. I notice a lot of guys using storage units these days and sometimes elaborately fitting out a storage unit so they can practice in. So look, where there's a will, there's a way. Drums is not an easy instrument to play. It's not like bass where, you can just turn that amp down. You can play quietly. Yeah. I know you can play quietly. Control, man, dynamics. Nah. Sometimes you need to practice loud. Let's be honest. And you need an outlet for that. So E-kit, or you gotta try and figure out some solution for a place where you can hit hard. Maybe a workplace after hours, industrial kind of area. I'm not sure. But hey, crazy Dave C, thank you so much for the really interesting questions. This one is from Driftwood. Hi Andrew, love the channel. Not sure if this has been asked before, but what are those pictures that we see in your intro? Cheers from Montreal, Canada. Those pictures that you see on the intro are from my first ever reaction video, which was the Vinnie Colaiuta showcase on the Joan Rivers show. And it's just stills that I grabbed from that. And yeah, that's the intro. Next question, Clarence Corbeil, percussioniste, batteur. Whew. Okay, Clarence, congrats on the 50k milestone. Thank you. My question is mostly a suggestion. Why not including some drummers from Latin America in your reaction videos? Oh, I would love to. For example, Horacio Hernandez from Cuba, Kiko Freitas from Brazil. They'll be cool to see some comments on their playing like you do. I also happen to know about a bunch of great Cuban drummers. Raul Pineda, Daphnis Prieto, Jimmy Branley, Julio Barreto, Rodney Barreto, his nephew, Roy Lopez Nusa, just to name a few. Keep it up, Andrew. Cheers from Quebec, Canada. Yeah, you know what? Horacio El Negro Hernandez is one guy that I have had in mind. He hasn't been requested. I don't think anybody else has brought up Horacio. He is left foot clave extraordinaire, soloing all over left foot clave. Yeah, I'm going to do a Horacio Hernandez video soon. All right, Phil, we've had many comment thread back and forth. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Dupois? Sorry, Phil. Question number 1. What do you think about electronic drums? Now, if I said they're a necessary evil in the modern age, that is doing them a disservice. I think electronic drums are great. Now, I don't think... See if you try and stick with me here. And I don't want this to sound too basic, but I want you to think about it. Electronic drums are not drums. They're electronic drums. To me, drums are acoustic drums. An acoustic drum kit, that's drums. Electronic drums are not drums. They're rubber or mesh pads. Now, I don't say that to be disparaging against electronic drums. They are very useful, and in some cases, they're all people can use. If they're in an apartment block, any type of noise restrictions, you might just have to use electronic drums. I think they're fantastic. You can get some really good electronic drums, and you would hope so. The price of some of these drums now, you would hope they're good. Where it all falls apart is the sensitivity and, rebound, that kind of stuff. A real drum kit. I mean, every drum is a different tension. Your snare drum is far tighter than, for example, your floor tom. And then, varying depending on the tightness of the other toms, every drum might have a different tension, which means different technique is going to work on different drums. And this is the art of drumming. This is how you actually learn to play a drum kit. So I do like electronic drums. I've got many students with electronic drums, and when they come in to see me, we play on the acoustic. To me, they're getting the best of both worlds. They can practice at home. They can practice coordination and all their stuff at home. It's awesome. They come into me, they get the sensitivity, and they go, whoa, this is so different. And they're on a real kit. Perfect. Phil has got another question. What would you say are the top 3 drum rudiments to master? first two really easy, singles and doubles. Don't say, yeah, I can already do singles and doubles. You can't. You need to practice them more. Oh man. One of the recent videos I did was a Neil Peart drum solo. Dude's playing singles and doubles. I mean, there's levels to the game. You've got to really go deep on this stuff. Now rudiment 3. I would be tempted. The stock answer here would be the paradiddle, single paradiddle. I'm gonna go a little bit outside the box, and I'm gonna say a 6-stroke roll or a 5-stroke roll. And the reason for that is it's just such an easy building block to build a solo, to build really impressive drum fills, and yeah, I'll go with a 6-stroke roll. Singles, doubles, 6-stroke roll. Get on it. Alrighty, Craig Strickland. Your edits are on point. Yes! That slow clap though. What other types of music do you listen to for influence, even if it is not your style or favorite? Thanks. Craig, my other music that I listen to, I honestly, in my spare time, I don't get a lot of spare time. But between teaching, gigging, often gigging out of town, a lot of driving, and making a video a day for YouTube, I don't get a lot of spare time. But I listen to a lot of student stuff, songs that my students want to learn, which can range from brand new top 40 type stuff or, old stuff. Occasionally they'll ask for like it could be anything. The Rolling Stones, you just never know what to expect from students. What do I listen to for influence? Influence on my playing? Well, I actually mainly get hired, or almost always get hired, for pop stuff or 2-4 backbeat, groove, play good time type of gigs. So I actually do enjoy and listen to a lot of pop. I love my 80s pop, man. Guilty pleasure is all the 80s, new wave, new romantic stuff, ABC, Spandau Ballet, Aha. Oh, I love that stuff. It's good. It's good stuff. My music taste is pretty eclectic. I love neo soul, your Maxwell, D'Angelo stuff. Man, I love 80s metal, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction era, reggae, chuck on some reggae, James Brown. I love 60s and 70s Philly soul, Delphonic stylistics, man, all over the map, to be honest, and it's just whatever I'm feeling at the time. Okay, we've got a question from P. Bow. Nearly there for 50k, mate. My question is, how does your wife feel about you playing drums? She's good with it. When we first met, she actually met me at a gig. I was doing this regular cafe jazz gig, and we had some people come into the cafe, and they said, "Hey, you guys are great. Can we hire you for a private party?" And we said, "Yep." Turned up to the private party and did the gig, and my wife was there, and we got chatting, and she was absolutely fine with it. She found out early on that I was a full-time drummer, and that's just what I do. Some people go to work in an office. I play drums, and that's just life. And sometimes, the drums are gonna be, they're like an obsession sometimes. But she's very, very understanding, and I cannot complain. Shiva Wilding. Andrew, I'm learning simple blast beats, but I can't sustain them for very long before my hand cramps. Do you have any good exercises for building hand strength? Also, will you be reacting to more Brand Daler on the channel? His Minor Showcase featured 4 other songs, and it just feels right for you to complete the set. I gotta get that box set. Gotta get that Brand Daler box set going. Look, I don't play blast beats, so you're probably much better off talking to someone who's got expertise in that area. I'm not even gonna pretend to know about blast beats. Whenever anyone comes to me with hand questions, I do point them towards stick control. I think the book is absolutely wonderful. And also stay tuned because I've got a rather exciting announcement which might be relevant to your question. Can't say anything yet. Stay tuned. There will be an announcement that might help you out. But in general, stay loose, relaxed, keep it healthy. Always, try and remove tension, shoulders down, loose. You want to practice thinking long term. You want to be nice, loosey-goosey in general. Rob Gass, my buddy Rob. Number 1 question. Andrew, when you flush the toilet, does the water go down counterclockwise? If so, are right-handed drummers actually left-handed drummers elsewhere? Hold on, when you flush the toilet, does it go down? Okay, I just checked. I'm not. And then I forgot because we don't have a toilet. We're in New Zealand, man. We just go out in the garden. That's good for the plants, man. No, look, I just tried it out, and the water seemed to just go straight down. I tried it in the sink and the water went down clockwise. So I don't know whether that makes me left-handed because we're upside down on the map and we're kind of at the bottom of the world down here, man. We're in the middle of the South Pacific. So yeah, what can I tell you? 50,000 members. Is it time to start a fight club to not talk about? Oh my God, that is a good idea. I like it. Number 3, who is a drummer that's known well in your parts and not the rest of the world? Oh boy, yeah, that's a big one. Stan Bicknell is from New Zealand, but everybody knows about him. Also the same with Dylan Elise. He is another drummer that went pretty massive. So who's one that is not known in the rest of the world? The best drummer I have seen in New Zealand is a guy called Mickey. And you know what? Even within New Zealand, a lot of people don't know about Mickey. Now, Mickey's surname, I don't want to butcher it. Mickey Ututaunga. And he is, he's the best drummer I've seen around. He is just insanely good. He's one of those drummers where I watch him play and I just cannot believe what I'm seeing. And I remember the first time I saw him and thinking, this is world class. This could be on any stage. There's just so much air in his playing. He's one of these guys that is just sickening because he plays simple things and they just sound incredibly beautiful. And so he's a genius for me. Mickey Ututaunga, check him out. I think he's got a few videos floating around online, but not many. Very humble, modest guy. He does a lot of big gigs here, and even Kiwis don't know about him. Absolute crazy, awesome drummer. Michael Belazki. How long did it take you to reach 50k subs? Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Andrew. Okay, his name's Michael. Oh boy. I started on YouTube in 2013. And it's almost taken me 1,000 videos. So depending on time or video amount, it's taken me 1,000 videos or 8 years, whichever one of those metrics you want to use. Springy2112. Andrew, congrats on your subs. It's well deserved. I don't have a question because every comment I've made or question I've asked, you've responded to. I don't know how you managed to do this, but I'm thankful. And as always, I wish you peace and love, brother. Yeah, I do my best, man. I spend dedicated time each day to actually talking to people, answering the comments. If you're good enough to subscribe and leave a comment, I'll try and answer you. I'll do my best. I literally cannot do all of them, but I'll do my best. Linda Pryor, how did you learn to use all your extremities with different beats? I can pat my head and rub my belly sometimes, but my left hand wants to do the same thing as my right hand, and I won't even talk about my feet. Oh, that's awesome. Look, it's like anything, it's just practice. I guess I was, a reasonably coordinated person. I was, decent at sport and stuff like that. But no, it's just practice. you just one step at a time. You can't look at like all the incredible drummers that I feature on the channel and just think, oh, I can't do that. Of course you can't do that. They were as good as we are at some point. Every famous drummer was as good as you at some point. Think about that. Dean's Drum Shed. Hey Andrew, my question, who would you say was your biggest inspiration? Cheers, great channel. Dean's Drum Shed. Yeah. Hey, we've had some great chats in the comments section before, so yeah, I really appreciate the question. Probably my dad, although he's not a drummer, but just in general, inspiration. Very hardworking man. Drumming wise, I would say it would have to be Jeff Porcaro, greatest drummer that's ever lived. Played on, thousands of recordings, and he was kind of the guy. I wanted to be Jeff Porcaro. When I became a full-time drummer, I want to do that Porcaro thing. I've been in studios and it looked so cool and glamorous, and just on all these #1 hits, and just churning out song after song. It's mind-blowing. It's really difficult for me to believe what those great session players do. Jeff Porcaro, biggest inspiration. Cursed C. Hose. Did you ever break something you drummed on that you weren't supposed to? Butterfly toilet victim asking. Some toilet butterfly incident? I've very rarely broken anything playing the drums. Broken a crash cymbal, cracked some hi-hats. That's about it, but I was supposed to be playing on them. So no. Australia, have you ever had a go at blast beats given all of the death metal reaction videos? If not, why not? Why not? Surely you can do it and incorporate it into your style. No, I have not given blast beats a go. I mean, blast beats that's a single stroke roll, right? If not, why not? Because I've got a huge amount of respect for different styles. I have got no experience in those death metal styles. For me, if I'm going to do something, I really do it properly and I go super long term. So I would have to be so into it and so dedicated. I work on goals and small steps, incremental improvements. And for me to go down that whole rabbit hole on blast beats and death metal, I would have to be passionately fixated, obsessed with it. And I'm just not. It's not because I don't like it. It's because I don't need it. And I don't have the time that I would want to give to it. I hope that answers your question. Joel Gearbull. Joel Gearbull? Is there any kind of music that interests you that people on YouTube or people around you don't even imagine you're interested in? I don't think people would realize all the different stuff that I like, from my Afro-Cuban stuff to pop. But yeah, I sort of answered this on one of the previous questions here. I mean, I like a lot of different stuff. I mean, when I listen to like an Afro-Cuban All-Stars album or something like that, I'm taken to another place. It just completely blows my mind. And I can't believe anyone who would listen to that music would not be moved and would not fall in love with it. So I'll go with Afro-Cuban. Helen Jill of all trades. Guys, a lot of full stop periods in there, isn't there? Have you seen Frodo lately? No. Besides earning money, what are your goals for your YouTube channel, like your mission, for example? Do you want to provide a lot of variety or keep your project pretty straightforward? I'm going to answer these pretty quick because there's a lot of stuff here. Hold on. Besides earning money. Oh, man, money. Look, money is a very real topic. And I don't know if you're just trolling me here for a bit of fun, because I realize you have become a Patreon supporter of the channel. Man, money and music. Musicians sit around on their hands all day complaining about how low money is and there's no money in the business and there's this and that. And then as soon as someone makes money, everyone tries to chop them down. I'm going to do a few videos on money and music because, oh man, Myth Central. What are your goals for your YouTube channel? To keep growing, make the content better and better, and keep growing. That's it. Do you want to provide a lot of variety or keep your project pretty straightforward? Jeepers. I think there's a heck of a lot of variety on this channel now. You've got your reactions, I've got drum lessons, covers, gear reviews, one-on-one, me telling you what I learned at jazz school, gig stories. I think it's a lot of stuff. Are you going to move your Dumbeck over so that I won't fall due to thunderous drumming or the occasional earthquake, or do you live to tempt fate? Now, this is in response to, I think I did a speaking video, things I learned at jazz school video, and there was a drum. It looked like it was just about to fall off the shelf behind me. Moved it. Is Peter Jackson your homie? Or your uncle or your cousin? No. If someone wants to share an idea with you privately, is Patreon the way to do this? Sure. Ringo Starr to guest host. Great. You jack it up for me. You sort it out. I'm more than happy to allow Ringo on the channel if he wants to come on the channel and guest host. Dark, medium, or light roast? Dark, thank you. Is it ever too late to learn the drum? Is it ever too late to learn to drum? Absolutely not. And I mean that completely seriously. Plastric, hello. Who are your biggest comedic influences? Really? I don't fancy myself as much of a comedian, but what comedy? I don't really have any influence because I'm not a comedian, but what comedy do I like is pretty much solely British comedy. Yeah, Jimmy Carr, Sean Locke, Mickey Flanagan, Lee Mack. In fact, very rarely do I watch a British comedy that I don't like. Back in the day, Only Fools and Horses, Fawlty Towers, Father Ted, IT Crowd, on and on and on, all the British stuff. Magne May. My question is, when are you and Gavin going to make up? Gavin. Nathan McIntyre. As you live in New Zealand, you are now tasked by the New Zealand government to bring one ring to Mount Doom to be destroyed. Which two drummers accompany you on this heroic quest and why? Nathan, what have you been smoking for breakfast? Okay. Two drummers. This is like asking me, two drummers to play for my life. I'm going to say Steve Jordan and Gavin Harrison. How's that? Between those two drummers, you got it all covered. Alex Galinas, congrats on the upcoming milestone. Have your listening habits changed at all? Since starting to do reactions? Any new artists who have entered your regular rotation? Great questions there. Yes, they have. I'm doing, in general, a lot more active, critical listening now that I'm doing these videos. I was severely lacking on that before, and I'm just such a busy guy. I didn't have a lot of time to just sit down and listen to music. So now that I am, I'm so grateful. New artists, the ones that come to mind instantly. Devin Townsend, amazing. Oh my God. That video got blocked, the one I did on Deadhead. It's available to the patrons. What a song. And what an artist, incredible voice, playing just mind-blowing. Opeth, man. Wow, that was an eye-opener. Opeth, good God, that was amazing. And in general, I think a bit more respect, or I've always had respect for them, but a bit more understanding of the extreme styles, the metal stuff. Those fans are so passionate as well. And I honestly, now I can see why. Comisario, congrats Andrew. I have just one question and I'm not sure if you have answered this already, but here we go. Which drummers would you want to sit down and have a chat with? Name one dead drummer and one who's still alive. Well, that's a bit dark. I'm going dark here. I don't know if you know, but I do have a drumming podcast and I've talked to some incredible drummers. Top of that list would have been Benny Greb, and I've already done that interview with Benny Greb, so he's up there. But let's do another one. Let's do one who has passed away, drummer who has passed away that I'd love to talk to, Tony Thompson from Chic, and session drummer, one of my favorite drummers of all time. Drummer that's still alive, drummer I'd want to sit down and have a chat with. Can I have two? Gavin Harrison or Larnell Lewis? Jason Person, how do you find time for anything else? You put out content every day. You must really like us. Also, you should technically be answering 50k questions, right? Always fun videos, Andrew. Thanks for sharing your stories and experiences. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Jason. Yeah, look, I work pretty hard on the channel. I mean, I've had some critiques before. Oh, why would I want to contribute to your Patreon? You don't have to. If you enjoy the channel and you feel like you want to, contribute. And there's no, I don't expect you to. People asked when I started the channel. People asked, can I contribute something for your time and editing and everything, all these videos? So I opened up the Patreon. That's it. And yeah, man, I teach 6 days a week from my own studio. I play gigs every week. And I try and do a video a day. So, man, it is busy. On top of, trying to be a dad and have a family. Yep, it's busy, man. It is busy. The Lego Boss. Not about drumming, but are you a Star Wars fan since you have the Lego TIE Fighter on your recent video? Keep up the amazing videos. You'll be at 100k in no time. Fist bump right back at you, Lego Boss. And I love my Lego. Yeah. I'm a Star Wars fan. The TIE Fighter is Connor's, my boy. He allowed me to use the TIE Fighter on the set there. And I'm hoping to include a few more little Easter eggs, a few little things around this wee set kitchen table. So yeah, keep an eye out for interesting little things popping up on the set. David Bell, man, one of the early supporters, one of the first guys who I started talking to on this channel. How many of your favorite drummers have you met in real life and who were they? I met Luke Holland and I got slightly fangirlish. Hashtag no shame. Yeah, man, that's all right. That just shows you're human and you're really into it. In real life, well, talking to Benny Greb and doing a Skype interview with him, that was a big thrill. I guess it's not real life. I'm not someone who goes up to people and Mr. Greb, I'm such a big fan. That's not me. Not even in a nah. I haven't met. I got a pedal signed by Jojo Mayer. That was about it. No, I kind of like to have a little bit of distance there. And I don't really feel the need to try and meet any drummers, to be honest. I'm not trying to throw shade on you meeting Luke Holland. I just, I'm pretty low key and introverted in real life, man. So I kind of, I keep cool. I went to a Benny Greb clinic and I didn't even go up and say hello. He was sitting there and just left him alone, enjoyed the show and carried on. Urban Slamal, hey, any thoughts about this one? And it's a link, so I'm not going to open that right now. And that's it. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for sitting through my Q&A. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.